Welcome to Ink in the Eyes, the graphic novel podcast, where we talk about stories and art and, of course, graphic novels. Today, Charles will be talking to us about Unbecoming Una, which
No,
I know.
Becoming Unbecoming. Una is the author.
Oh,
It's a mononym, an artistic mononym,
well,
a pseudonym or mononym. So yeah, it's Becoming Unbecoming. So about the title, actually, it's a good point.
I look foolish saying it wrong.
Foolish.
In my notes, I wrote down Becoming Unbecoming and then crossed out Becoming and wrote Una because you confused me.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, it's by Una. Who, interestingly, we'll get to onto properly, but interestingly is part of the New Writing North scene, which a very dear friend of ours is part of it. Yeah.
Wow, you can submit graphic novels to that?
No, I think she was a writer. She is a writer. This is her graphic novel memoir. It is published in 2015, published in 2016 in the United States of America. It is set in the 1970s, and it is her personal memoir. So, Becoming Unbecoming, the reason why I like the title is because this is a very heavy topic. I think this is our first memoir as well.
I believe so.
I believe so. Well, T100 no, that's more a historical document, isn't it? No, this is the first memoir. Plus, that's not a memoir, is it? Yes, this is our first one. So the phrase "unbecoming" of, I don't know, does that translate? I assume it does. She's very unbecoming is a term used to kind of degrade women. Yeah. So this follows her two main storylines. It is to do with her sexual assault as a child, and it is to do with set at the backdrop of the Yorkshire Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe, which we're going to get into a little bit as well. So I think it, even through the title, through its core, its thread is about gender violence and how we treat women and how, we see it as like, I think she's the reason why kudos to her, to Una, because like becoming unbecoming, like you feel unbecoming. Well, so you read about these things and you feel unbecoming, you feel unladylike, because victims of sexual assault have often said that about themselves. So the imagery is quite, I don't want to say basic because it's not, but it starts out in kind of a childish kind of sense, very line drawing, a little bit of watercolor. You can tell very quickly, because she starts off in her childhood, you can tell very quickly that she is using, the reason why I think this works very well as a memoir is she uses a lot of graphic imagery for metaphor. So a lot of like the speech bubbles she's physically carrying, and she's holding them on her shoulders and on her back as she like carries them. And some of them are like in prams and what have you, and how mothers are talking about each other. So she works quite well. She uses the graphic form very, very well to show the metaphor and what it's like to be 1970s. It does talk about her sexual assault. The first part, it's not, she doesn't go into it gnarly, but it's not nice at all. You can usually very isn't. Much, it usually isn't. True, it's not a happy subject. But you could, I don't know, she gets a very real sense of it. Like it's from a stranger, and how they like divide and conquer these two little girls. And it was weird because, not that this is in any way the same, but I remember it very similar when you first like smoke, and like an older lads would like how they could talk. Some not all, but like some guys learnt very quickly how to talk and how to manipulate through words, and she used that, and it just reminded me of like being a child and seeing that again, and obviously taking your first cigarette and the atrocious behavior that, like, the atrocious things she went through are like leagues and leagues apart, but it felt very real, if that made sense. It felt disturbingly real as a reader. You're like, oh shit, that's not great. The isolation that you're made to feel.
Well, the fact that she makes it relatable even to a population who hasn't experienced that.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. It goes further into it, but that's obviously we always have no. It's horrible to say spoilers, but like we don't talk a lot. We only talk about the intro of most stories here, so I want to keep it to that form. I do think it is an amazing read, and an amazing visual. Like I say, it's not the most artistic of sense, but the way she uses the art to as a sidecar for the story is fantastic.
See, I'm looking at a few of the pages now, and I think they're very cool.
Yeah, they're very cool, aren't they? Yeah.
Stick to a standard panel layout, it appears.
No, it's all very moving and very
Did she
broken.
illustrate it?
Yeah. I believe she did. It is only under her name, pseudonym of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I believe she is an artist. She has since done other things like short. This is her biggest and most famous one, but she has also done Cree, which is the one 2018. That was with New Writer North.
Is that a graphic
Durham
novel?
Book Festival. I think that is graphic. And then she's done a short graphic on Sanity, which is 1 Day and 2 Lives, which is about like motherhood. I think at a time when women were crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like the blanket term of just being like, yeah, she's hysterical. Like, yeah, she's fine. Yeah.
What is that?
Well, she was born 70s, so it would have been 40s and 50s. I mean, before 40s and 50s, but up until that kind of time, isn't it? Where there was no like postpartum depression. There's no like all of these understandings of like a new mother and like being trapped and isolated at the home. Things that we're starting to discuss now was just like, yeah, she's mental, hysterical. Don't worry about it. Kind of like, yeah, it's. So I think a lot of it is talking about motherhood and how we treat mothers. Although I have not read on Sanity. She also does another one. She's just done another one, actually, Eve, 2021. And that's about motherhood, community, and survival as well. Yup. So the main themes of this are obviously gender violence, misogyny, like the normalization, which is really interesting because she talks about her own horrible experience at the same time that this... Do you know anything about the Yorkshire Ripper?
No, not really. I went to York.
So,
I feel like I probably saw it. But I don't recall.
The Yorkshire, they probably don't. It's not like Jack the Ripper where it's like a tourist attraction. This is most certainly not a tourist attraction. This is in the 70s,
like
80s.
There was a lot of history plaques and readings and things.
I see,
and so I didn't know if it was like I just came across it. And
I see. Interesting time. The 70s in the UK were a bit of a Wild West, it seems. And a lot of stuff is coming out of that now. Like a lot of like the Jimmy Savile thing and other TV presenters and churches, basically anything that has a power dynamic between children and anything else, from the BBC to church to schools to... There was a lot of abuse and abuse scandals that haven't been talked about. Peter Sutcliffe had 13 murders to his name, 7 attempted murders, 20 confirmed.
Oh, wow.
But the main thing is that like the police like dropped the ball on every single thing.
I was going to say,
the biggest
incompetent, like...
Yeah, the incompetence is insane. So, like, it was the biggest and most expensive manhunt in British history, I believe, up until that time, anyway. I think it still is. He did it in, like, Manchester and West Yorkshire. So kind of not far from where I am now, up until where, like, my mum lives and up a little bit further than that. So, he was. So the police fluffed it up like many times to the point where this is in Becoming Unbecoming. A young girl is attacked, and like this is brutal, so skip 10 seconds if you don't want to hear this bit, but she's hit in the head with a hammer, which is but she sees him and can give a positive description to what he looked like. This is quite early on, but because he was a ripper, quote unquote, and they believed he was only into prostitutes, they didn't listen to the woman because they were like, oh, that can't be the same guy, he's killing prostitutes. You're obviously not a prostitute, you're a young girl, you're fine, you're like, go home, that must be somebody else. So it's like all of these things that were like very obvious. He was arrested and brought in for questioning 6 times. No, he was brought in for questioning 6 times.
Oh my god, so they did actually catch him.
They caught him multiple times.
He was just so charming that they let him go?
No idea, because he's batshit crazy. Like, even if you see photos of him, like, he's not your charming serial killer. I mean, he must have been, because he got away with it, but like I haven't looked at any like police videotape evidence of it, but I don't think he's like cult leader charming. He says sure shit doesn't look like it.
That's crazy. That's like
insane.
The one job where you can't be like, oh, I just don't care.
Yeah. It's bonkers. So there was. Yeah, the political backdrop of this is quite interesting because it is in the 70s in England where everything was basically just horrendous. Like, we were on the lead up to Thatcher. We had like 3-day weeks. The government had collapsed. Not collapsed, but like it was awful. Everything was very hierarchical, very male dominated. The police basically said, they like genuinely said, avoid dressing provocatively and stay in at night. There were the 2 like actual official statements that they said, which was great. So yeah, that was pretty insane. And you kind of have probably the counterlash to the second wave feminism is coming on at this point as well, maybe. Maybe this is actually the start of it. You have the 60s, which is obviously like a bit more liberating to women. You have the post-war era when women were working and therefore working in factories, so then they were allowed further and further working rights. You had the 60s, where it was obviously a little bit freer. And I think the 70s was a bit more of a drawback, which is quite interesting because I was speaking to somebody the other day and they were like, the other week, sorry, and they said, oh my God, like it'd be better to be born in be around in the 70s because like women's rights were better. And I was like, I don't think that's true.
No, well, I don't know about England, but I think my grandmother's generation was the first one where they could like get a credit card without their husband signing it.
Yeah. I think there was a big step forward back then, but it doesn't seem like it. I mean, I haven't read much feminist literature from the 70s, unfortunately. Should have done for the research, but didn't. But
oh my God, I'm reading a feminist book right now. It's about a girl made of flowers.
Oh,
it's
that sounds quite
Welsh
nice.
Smith of the Blodeuwedd, I think.
Oh,
that's how you pronounce it. But so at the end of every season, she falls apart. But she was kind of made as a playmate for this little boy. But he grows up and falls in love with her, and like wants her to be able to take care of herself, and like keeps building different ways for her to not fall apart at the end of every season. But she has to agree to everything he says, even when she says stop doing all this, because of the like nature of her little magical existence, and like the way she was built.
Wow.
If he gives her a command, essentially she has to do it. And I just got to the part where she like realized if she hears him, she has to do what he says. So she's running away.
Oh my God. That's really sad.
It is, and it was like such a magical feeling book, and it was really nice. And then the ending, because I'm almost done with it, is quite sad and heavy. I flip towards the end to see what happens with her, and it's okay, but like you get the point of view from these two characters the whole time.
I need to make sure this is okay before I give it more time.
What?
You just saying that, like I totally agree with you. I've done that before, where like there's a book and I'm like, oh, that this might get sad. I'm gonna just check.
Oh,
It's
I
not.
do that so often, more often.
Oh, really?
I read the last page, yeah, which is a controversial opinion, but I don't want to read a book where like you sit with it all, because they take so long to read. And so if they fumble the ending, or like my favorite character dies, it's happened a few too many times.
Yeah, I think that's a good piece of advice, because actually, like, they did studies, and I will try and find the study for next time.
And I still like, it's about the journey, so I do still enjoy the book.
Yeah. Apparently, spoilers don't actually matter. Like, if you could tell somebody what happens to a film, and it doesn't actually spoil their enjoyment at all.
That's so interesting. I'd have
there was a study about it. I found it on
she'd
QI.
read the Wikipedia summary.
Yeah, I think it stops me getting stressed out sometimes. If I know I'm going to watch like a heavy dramatized like thriller or something that's like going to be quite intense. Yeah, I like the spoilers, because I'm like, okay, well, otherwise I get too uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the really, really intense suspense I don't like sitting in, because the world makes me anxious enough.
Yeah.
Whereas
100%.
if I can find out what happens, it's funny because in school and even in my undergrad, people would get really upset when I told them I did that. But now I don't know if I just have more friends who are similar to me, or just adults are more relaxed, but more and more people are like, yeah, either I've done that too, or live your life.
I have a very similar experience with people putting down books. When I was a kid, I used to feel quite small, because I used to say, like, I put down books if I didn't enjoy it. And there was always that kind of sanctimonious group who were like, oh no, I have to finish a book if I start it.
Yeah, I still meet people like that.
Yeah, and I haven't, maybe it's the same as you, maybe I just haven't come across them. And I think it is because like my dyslexia makes it very hard to read, that I'm like, oh, if I don't enjoy this, like there are 1,000 more books that I could be reading.
Yeah, there's so many books.
It's so hard. It's so hard for me to read, and like, yeah, there's so many books so hard for me to read that I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the worst is when you get pulled into a book you don't like, but you're so far into it that I'm like, I do actually want to know what happens.
Yeah.
I will feel.
I'm trying to think if that's happened recently.
The book I'm reading is called Honeysuckle. I can't tell if the woman's Welsh or not, because it's a Welsh myth, but it says
You're reading a lot. Oh, that's the hunt. Yeah, right.
in Canada.
I thought this was a different thing. I was like, you're
No,
reading a lot of Welsh myth.
But it says
Quite cool.
It's called honeysuckle because the honeysuckle flower is the one that like bonds the flower girl, the bloated wed, to the creator.
That is, yeah. I have one of those.
She's married, the author, and just by the end of the book, it's such a horrible view of this.
Of marriage?
Not marriage, but like this relationship. It's like such a negative view of this man. I know she can have a story and then real life, but she feels like she's working through some anger.
Oh no. Did you send me that tweet, or did I send you the review of Donna Tartt's maybe The Secret History? But it was like, I don't know whether Donna Tartt has murdered somebody in her university or has dreamed about or wish she did. But either way, she needs to work out in therapy, not a 600-page book.
That's so funny. I don't think that was me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a good reason not to read it.
That's so funny because they were arguing at work the other day of, I don't want to read this, and no, you should. It's really good.
What, Donna Tartt?
Yeah. The Secret History.
It's one of our acquaintance. It's one of our friends' acquaintance. It's one of our
yes,
friends.
I know, and that made me
favorite
want to read
books.
it.
Yeah, you'd
My
learn a lot
sister
by somebody.
hates it though.
She's American, isn't she?
Donna Tartt? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she's Southern, I think.
Is she?
I believe so. I watched an interview with her, and I think she sounded a bit like who's the famous Southern actor who's in Silence of the Lambs, whose name escapes me.
Oh, she's from Mississippi. Wait. Yeah, she's
Mississippi.
from Mississippi. Yeah,
That is a Southern state.
Strong Southern accent. Yeah, anyway, I haven't. My sister gave me her copy. And because it's so controversial, I'm curious. I want to read it. Because people either love it or hate it.
Love it or yeah, that's the thing. Like Goldfinch as well. I've heard people say it's the best thing they've ever read or awful, waste of time.
I remember in class, people were discussing if The Goldfinch was better than Secret History or not.
And what did they think?
Class was divided. This was a class you were in.
Oh. Did you and I just stay silent throughout that class?
Yes. Well, I sure did. I wasn't really paying attention to you because you weren't talking, but yes, it does. I do recall.
Yeah, there was a lot of time in that class where, and I don't want to call it posturing because that would be unfair to people who I know, but I think there were a lot of like, this is my fave, this is not my fave. I think this. Which there is with anything, isn't there? Films, reading, anything like that. Like, yeah.
See, I think I sometimes speak as in like, I do like this, I don't like this, but this is not to impress anyone.
That's the thing. I think sometimes there's a thin line, isn't it? Actually, I think it's quite a thick line. If you like what you like, then you kind of have a bit of a light about yourself. It's when you're just like, oh, I like this. And you're like, oh, do you though?
Yeah, because you think that's what you're supposed to like.
Yeah.
To be this.
I always have this one with, and I'm gonna get heat off, but like probably not. Wuthering Heights.
Oh, you don't like it?
No. I can't read it. I've tried like 3 times and been like, this is so boring.
Yeah,
I am bored.
That's what she says. She had to read it for school, and like we heard about it and how awful she found it for so long. That really put me off.
Yeah, I was like, this is boring. I'm bored.
And everyone
whereas some people are like, oh my god, it's amazing, and everybody hates the film. I don't know why, but
so at work they were saying Heathcliff, is that the main guy?
Yeah.
Is supposed to be a man of color.
Yes.
And so...
Is he not in the film?
No.
Oh.
I walked into the break room and the one girl was like, when I think 17th century person of color, I think Jacob Elordi.
I don't know who that is.
That's the actor who plays him. He's white.
Oh, so...
Oh, he was the guy in Saltburn. The rich kid.
Oh.
I think that was him.
No, he is mixed race, isn't
he? Is he?
Wait, it depends on which one you're talking about. The rich kid who has the house. No, he's not. He's white. He's British.
He's not. He's Australian.
Oh, is he?
We've had this conversation before, completely reversed, because I said he was British and you said no, he's Australian. And I felt silly.
That's hilarious.
And so it's really funny that we've flipped.
That we've now flipped.
Excellent. That was a good interaction.
So no, I was reading about it. So the symbolism that he comes from nowhere, which has led people to think he's Romany. But the description of him is dark-haired child from Liverpool. and ethnicity is not explained.
Okay, I wondered if that was the case.
So mixed or colonial heritage could be Romani or Gypsy that they used the term back then. But Gypsy has an alternative meaning now, where it's a derogatory term for a traveller, and they would be white normally. Whereas back in the 19th century, they would be Romani, which are Pakistan, North India originally.
Interesting.
Not from Romania that most people think.
That's misleading.
Yeah, they came over. They like the traveling from like Pakistani area. I can't remember exactly. Maybe Kashmir. Not sure. Well, I know that's India, Pakistan, but like over through Romania and then through up and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So obviously, like you have to travel that way, but I think a lot of Eurocentric vibe was just like, yeah, you're from over there, Romani. Why not?
I probably will not be using that fact to argue with people, but
what that he's Romani, or
yeah.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
What?
If people think he is mixed race or from a different ethnicity, if he started in Liverpool, which would have been the biggest dock in the world at that point. It was at one point, and I'm pretty sure it would have been at that point. So the chances are he would not be white British because,
right.
Yeah, you'd be either Irish or, which is why the Scouse accent and the Dublin accent sound very similar.
Oh.
Interestingly enough.
So why is Manchester so different from Liverpool?
So I'll actually tell you the story, the history of it. So Manchester and Liverpool have a very strong rivalry.
Yes.
One, because Manchester was the first city in the world to become industrialized, and Liverpool was the biggest dock in the world. So they kind of symbiotically needed each other, but like were pushing each other, like higher in taxes and raising different tariffs on each other within their own country. And then Manchester built the Manchester Ship Canal, and that kind of bypassed some of the trade from Liverpool. And so that caused a lot of issues within that. Then from then on, basically it was the football game. United v Liverpool was a huge, kind of still is, but United are shit at the moment. But it is a big rivalry, more so than City United, because City were always bad until they got bought. That was less of a rivalry, even though it was kind of a derby game. So like you put all into it, the big rivalries would be like, would be Manchester, would be United, Liverpool. Yeah.
All right.
So that's why they don't like each other.
I was more thinking accents, but if they hated each other, they probably would.
Oh, why is their accent differently? Just because Liverpool had more interaction with
the world.
With the world, I assume. Manchester would have done too, obviously, with people working in industry, but just different corners of the world. And a lot of Irish in both countries, but probably more so in Liverpool. So, for example, my family were Irish, and then moved to Liverpool to become dock workers.
Oh.
And then we moved to Buxton. My granddad moved to Buxton.
There was no dock there.
There was no dock there. Furthest away you can be from the sea.
Really?
Within, like, the furthest away is very close to my house, like a few miles away. Yeah. Wow. It's in Derbyshire, in my county.
You wanted to pretend
you can only ever
like
be
you
70
weren't on an island?
70 miles away from the sea in the UK.
Wow.
That's the most you can be. Little factoid for you there.
Thank you. I didn't know that question, but I've forgotten.
Becoming Unbecoming was in the second wave of feminism. I think this was a big instiller, as I've said. I think this was like a big push. I'd say the 60s, although the 60s to 80s is the second wave feminism, I think the 60s kind of had a blip, And then this was another one where people were like, Jesus Christ. Now, interestingly, as we're talking about feminism and this time, they do talk about it in the graphic novel, but it is very interesting. The amount of shit his wife got was very, very interesting.
Who? The
Yorkshire Ripper,
murderer?
Peter Sutcliffe. Yeah. So,
God.
Sonia
How
Sersma.
could you be married to him?
Well, this is the thing. Did she know? Did she not know? And she stayed married to him after the fact.
20 murders. And she didn't know.
Yeah. 13 murders, 7 what's-its. Yeah, she didn't know.
All right.
So,
Believe her.
this is the thing, is like, obviously people are like, well, you must have known. Now, this raises two things in my mind.
She just didn't ask questions. And she
didn't ask questions. Also, no one has said this in the stuff that I've read, but like, she did sue a newspaper for defamation as well, the Private Eye, but I think that was about something else. It was to do with this, but it was a defamation case. But I don't know whether I'd rat on a serial killer if I was married to them. Because they would be they'd be a serial killer. Now, I'm not saying I'm putting words into her mouth. Maybe this didn't even cross her little her mind, but
well, I don't know how it was back then, but I know at certain points in history it was, especially for women, very difficult to divorce and then go live on your own, and so that on top of knowing.
Well, yeah, she was a devout Catholic, so that does play a part in it. She talks about it afterwards, saying that he was mentally ill, and so he's not evil. He needs help.
Aww. She sounds like she's good for him.
There is that.
Well, not good enough to keep him from murdering people. So maybe
no. They were married beforehand, so they were married in like 1974. His arrest was 1981, and she was married to him for a few years afterwards. Like the exact date escapes me, but she was married to him whilst he was in prison, and then Broadmoor, which is a home for the. It used to be called the Home for the Criminally Insane. I'm no idea what it's called now. Probably.
So he was eventually taken it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he died in prison. Yeah. Eventually, which is why it was all like, guys, you've had him 6 times. Like, you should have done this better.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot, like, they wasted so much money on it. But it's interesting how much, what I was talking about was to do with the gender violence of Becoming Unbecoming, is the fact that she gets a lot of heat for it, which is quite interesting, because you're like, well, she didn't murder anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's been said, it's been quite, like, open that, like, no one thinks she was involved in any of the crimes.
Mm-hmm.
He would just go out and then attack people. So, like, why are we talking about her as opposed to him? Why are we blaming her of being like, she should have known, she should have done something? And as I go back to my original point, if I was a woman in the 70s and I've watched the police, even if I knew, I've watched the police, like, not believe a lot of people and let him go multiple times after police interviews.
Right.
Would I?
Because then if he gets let go and comes home.
Yeah. Then he'd kill me and I'd be dead. Obviously, because I'd be, like, in the home with a serial killer. Like, yeah, he'd obviously he would. And, yeah, if she had no evidence, it was word against word. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she gets a lot of stick, but I am talking from a very naive point of view, where I haven't done a lot of the research because I'm not interested in serial killers, and that's what a lot of this episode was going to be about, is that. But I thought because this is a memoir, that would be a bit distasteful. But I do find it very interesting that we are, as a culture, obsessed with serial killers at the moment. Yeah, weird. Very strange. I don't like it, so I won't be doing any more research on it, apart from what I've told you. But it's very interesting, and the book is very good, and I would give it a thorough recommendation.
Do you have a comp title?
Not off the top of my head, but I did read a memoir that was about a similar thing, but that was a novel. I think there are a few memoirs about this period in time in Britain and the just complete obliviousness to sexual assault. I can't
I'm
think of a
nodding.
comp there. Can't see you. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I decided to tell you. As a child, we would nod on the phone a lot, and our parents had to be like, I can't see it. You have to speak.
Oh, that's cute. And that is Becoming Unbecoming by Una, and a little bit of a Yorkshire Ripper history.
Thank you for your history.
Yeah.
Who published the book? It was Arsenal Press in the US, I think. But I found she had an Etsy page. It's not currently active. But it appears she used to sell some of her books via Etsy.
Oh, wow. Myriad.
I really liked the art.
I knew it was somebody.
Pages.
Myriad.
Myriad?
Myriad. MYRIAD editions. Myriad.
What?
UK
did you,
base.
You kind of mentioned it, but oh, the New Writing North. Did you find out what she wrote?
I don't know what her vibe was. That I just, as I was researching this, I noticed that she did some stuff with
the winning things are.
What, of New Writing North?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Beth's one.
I know, but you can't read what she submit, correct?
No. So you can read obviously when they're published, because a lot of them do get published. But no, I don't think they do actually. It's not like a short story comp, I don't think, where
that
they
makes sense,
then publish the winners.
Yeah, it is part of their novel they're submitting, and they wouldn't want to release that early.
Exactly.
So does she have novels, or are they all graphic novels?
I believe she is an artist first.
Oh, all right.
She is a writer, obviously. Studied fine art at Leeds, PhD in fine art from Loughborough. So yeah, she's massively an artist first, which does make more sense when you look at how she's used the graphic imagery and how she's like the intelligence she's shown on the page is very, like, you can tell she's an artist.
And it makes sense why she would want to do a graphic novel versus writing.
Yes. Yeah. So Eve is a speculative narrative. It doesn't say, oh no, it's a graphic novel as well. Yeah, she's only done graphic novels as far as I can work out. I'm sure she's done like short stories and what have you, because she's a very talented writer, but her two main pieces of work are graphic in nature.
Excellent. I was thinking about her pages, and I really like I don't know I'm trying to think of how to describe it, but from the little I saw of it, I really liked how she composed them. It feels fun, like the picture books when you're a kid, and
yeah, she has a very
like a book. It's looking around at the different elements and kind of searching for it.
Yeah. It adds a real. Yeah, you can tell it's very, like I say, she uses the graphic, the illustration to really mark herself as like a child thinking this, and brings you back into the past with her throughout her memoir, as opposed to being
Sorry.
No.
How's it end?
I'm not telling you. Thank you so much for listening to Ink in the Eyes, as ever. I'm Charles Salisbury. With me is Ace McAlpine. And today's topic, as you well know, Becoming Unbecoming by Una. And I would definitely recommend it. And
describe it in 3 words.
Heavy but important memoir.
Oh.
That's 4 words. Heavy, important memoir.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing with us today, giving us a history lesson. Like and subscribe the podcast. And we'll see you next time.